what is job design and what is job analysis. Okay, Mr. Lewis, please kindly, Mr. Lewis, you raised your hand and then is job design. Then your network went off. So let me get the YouTube for this particular class, for this particular section. So you could feel free to join us on YouTube. So the YouTube I'm posting now is the YouTube for job evaluation. Okay. So can someone help us? Job design. Yeah, Mr. Lewis, you were raising your hand. Would you want to say something? Job design and job evaluation. Okay. Have so I have something in the chat room. So from the chat room, Mr. Caleb said it is deciding what a job will look like, the decision of the description or content. Is job design, okay. Mr. Lewis said job design deals with the needs of an organization with regards to the tasks, responsibilities, duties of the different units of the organization. Then from Mr. Caleb again, he said, job evaluation is the measure of the effort put to work, okay? From Mata, she said, job analysis is a systematic process of obtaining information about the skills, duties, and knowledge required to perform the job, all right? Okay, so I think Mr. Caleb still wants to say something. He said, if it meets, okay, it meets requirement. All right, so from Ali, she said the division of job task designed to individuals in an organization. All right, so all of us can still remember some of the things we spoke about in job design and job analysis. So with that in mind, let's roll to what we have today. Job evaluation. I would like to take this session in about 45 minutes or less. So let's see what magic we can do, all right? The session objectives will cover explaining the concept of job evaluation, describing the steps and phases in job evaluation, and then elaborating on job evaluation methods. By introduction, sorry, let me get this. I think, yeah. Sorry, let me resume my recording, please. Okay, so I said the session objectives will have to deal with explaining the concept of job evaluation, describing the steps and phases in job evaluation, and then elaborating on job evaluation. By introduction, in an organization's employment structure, job evaluation plays an intricate role in ensuring pay equality. It is a complex but vital process. The evaluation process is systematic in that it breaks down and evaluates the relative worth of various tasks in a company or organization. The primary goal of the job evaluation process is to put jobs against each other to rank them in terms of intensity, qualitative and quantitative methods. This evaluation results in creating a payment structure that promotes fairness, equity, and consistency for all employees in an organization. Moreover, the requirements for each job must be outlined in a clear way, with everyone getting paid what they deserve. So how do we come up to say, this is level 1, grade 1, this is level 2, grade 1, this is level 2, grade 2? How do we come up to say level 1, 2, 3, 4? For instance, in the federal structure, you have up to level 17. How did we come up with that? What defines the relevance or the worth of the work each person does? Okay, how do we determine what to pay each person? That's what job evaluation is talking about. However, job evaluation does not necessarily deal with the person. Okay, if you look at job design has to do with structuring the work in such a way that it is person oriented, it is people oriented. Job design is person oriented. Job specification is person oriented. But job evaluation is the work oriented, task oriented. Do you get the difference between these things? Job design, job analysis is people oriented. Job evaluation is work oriented. We are trying to find out the contribution of this work to the entire organizational performance. That's what we want to achieve with job evaluation. So what determines how a particular role is being paid, how a particular job description is being paid, is the job evaluation. And that job evaluation is strictly what is the worth of this job as compared to the other jobs. So the higher the worth of a job, the higher the pay. And on a digression, my admonition to people had always been on try to make sure that you're taking on those jobs that have higher worth if you want to have higher pay. If you want to take home higher pay, then take the pain of improving yourself on those jobs that require that makes higher demands. Okay. Now, as you are here, you've gone to work today. There is someone that went to the same work with you, and then you did not just go home. You are here improving on yourself. Perhaps when your promotion comes tomorrow, somebody will be wondering, how did this happen? It happened because you made it happen. Okay, you took time to improve yourself so as to attract higher roles. Okay, very, 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 very important. You know, we had this project we call the MDA CSR project. We decided to train about 100 public service directors in Abuja, all right? And then we ended up training 105 of them. Now, since that particular event, there had been series of good news coming to us, okay? Series of good news coming to us. I think I shared it here the other time. Now, last week, is it last week or this week? I think it's this week, early this week. One of the persons that came called and was very excited, said that his promotion letter, when he did that program, when he did the executive leadership development program, he came to the office and then we stayed in the office that day till almost 10 p.m. He said that the only thing he's expecting now is that he's expecting his promotion to director. He said, okay. And he said that this training that he did, that he believes it will help him since his organization nominated him for this, and he believes it will help him. Okay. And then subsequently, we were informed that, okay, he has gone for the interview and all of that. And just within the period, he called and said, okay, his promotion has been out, he has been promoted, and was very excited. So excited that he invited us to his office to come and celebrate with him. Okay. Now, while he was busy developing himself, someone somewhere was saying, this training is not for me. I don't think I have passed this level. Okay, we've had, out of the 105 directors that came, we've had close to 6 of them who have been promoted. Those who have called us and informed us anyway. We've had those promoted from assistant directors to deputy directors, from acting directors to confirmed directors, from deputy directors to acting directors, from those who were not in the directorate cadre, but we are almost there, promoted to assistant directors. So there had been a whole lot of good news, and we sincerely appreciate that. Now, obviously, with these promotions, the job will be re-evaluated. The what will now be different. The what of this job will be different. And our prayer in IPM is that for everyone that comes to IPM, that they get a better return on their investment, not just because of the money you put in, but the time and energy you put in, and for your expectations that you came with, that you have them much more, so that you will call us and also share your own testimony. Now, within the week also, one of the agencies called and said, please, there is so person that delivered the lecture on a particular something. Can we get to, we want him to come and take a session for us. We're organizing a training for our staff, and we want this particular person to come. Wow, that was awesome. Now, do you know what that means? That means, yes, the training that this person delivered during the course they came was relevant, and they want him to come and replicate the same section to their larger audience in the organization. And that is a good, that's a good feedback for us. Okay. Before this class, before I started this class, in fact, I've been sitting on this computer close to, if not more than 8 hours now. I've been sitting on this computer, I think, since 7 o'clock. I've not gone anywhere. Okay, I've been sitting on this computer. Now, before I started the section, I had a message, and when I opened the message, the person also, although not a director, but an executive director in his own organization, he said, he's currently in Abuja. Can he get someone to manage his HR department at the interim? This person was also part of the people that attended the executive leadership program. They, can we help him recruit someone who can manage his HR department in their company? Now, all of this feedback tells us that, yes, there is what in the services, in the trainings they've received, and they trust IPM for this. So we, if you don't know, we know that for all of these things you've been learning, there is a whole lot of value you carry. And I've said it severally, especially to those of us in the HR department. People don't really advertise HR vacancies that much. Some organizations still feel HR is not their concern now. So they better get a secretary who will do all those HR assignments. But if you go based on current realities, based on reformations, industry reformations, there is high need for HRs now, but organizations are not recruited. So what do you want to do? Go and partner with them. Some of us belong to different groups, IPM groups. Some of the people that are in that group you are, some of them are executive directors, some of them are public service directors, some of them are CEOs looking for who to help them. Why don't you write a short profile of what you can do as a HR? Maybe HR strategist, HR generalist, job analyst, or whatever, and tell them you can serve in the intern as a HR partner. You'll be shocked on how many of them will get to you. I've spoken about this, that you can do this also via your LinkedIn profile, right? So let us not just keep learning without applying. This morning, I wrote a very brief article on strategic planning, the key to sustainable relevance and impact, something like that. And one of the lines, I said, the person that knows little and applies to the little he knows will have more results than the person that knows much but applies none. He's always waiting for the right environment, always waiting for he's always waiting for something. Okay, let's stop waiting and start acting. Let's stop waiting. And you've learned enough. There are some of us here now. I'm not saying you're not practicing, but I'm just giving you a little preview of the kind of stuff you're made of. There are some of us here that have done more than 5 courses with IPM, and you've not started applying some of these things. I'm not saying apply all, just start a little fraction of that you know. Okay, start. Okay, let's say you don't even know where to start from. Just start from what you know. And then when the challenge comes, come back to us. Our own is to give you that coaching and mentoring that you need to have that sky lift. Okay, that's all we need. Okay, now when you go to your organization, okay, for some of us that are in public sector, tell them also, I do training, so I organize trainings in case you need this kind of training. I can help you do it too. Now, whether you can do it now or not, the truth is, the day that opportunity comes to you and it dawns on you that somebody has accepted that I should train him on formulation of HR policies, so you, by default, you just find yourself doing it. Today, too, I received a message from one of he's a general with the Nigerian Army, okay? And when this man came to IPM, his passion was that he just wanted to be a trainer. He's a general, but he's so passionate about training. About a week ago or 2 weeks ago, he wrote to me that he got a training opportunity with Nigerian Army to train a particular cadre of the Army on emotional intelligence. Of course, he was heavily paid in Sokoto State. He's a general serving as an intra-consultant. He's serving as an internal consultant to Nigerian Army now. Now, today, he sent me a message again in the early hours of today. I think he was one of the first persons that sent me a message. Now, he said he has a program that is the Oba of the Oni of Ife. Yeah, the Oni of Ife, alongside with a particular organization, whether CBN or so, no, NMPC, that they're organizing a capacity development program in, is it Ibadan now? And they called him to come and deliver on that capacity development program. And say he has over 4,000 people to deliver to. Now, he just started out to, but one exposure can be what you just need. One opportunity could be just all you need. Some of us that are in public service intending to make some diversions, don't wait till a perfect time. Be the one to push it. Okay, that general, when he finished his program, he told me, I said, okay, why don't you put up a proposal? He put up a proposal. Now, he put this proposal up since 2020. The approval came in 2021, and the program came up in 2022. Now, by that singular exposure, he now has opportunity with NMPC to train, and that's a major general, so he's still the Army. Is he public service? Yes, Army is part of public service, so he's still a public servant, but now he's already engaging in practice. So let us not just wait for a perfect time, whether you believe it or yes. I believe and I know that with the little you've known, you can start from there. Okay, with the little you've known, you can start from there. I said I wanted to discuss in 30 minutes. But I'm deviating. Well, I think this deviation is a good one because we want to have more of these testimonies. Okay, we want to have more of these testimonials coming in. You want to have more of these testimonials coming in. If you have a challenge, call back to us. We'll help you fix whatever challenge it might be. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Whew. Still on introduction, the essence of compensation administration is job evaluation. By job evaluation, we mean using the information in job analysis to systematically determine the value of each job with all jobs within the organization. Organizations consist of many jobs, and all jobs are important, but all are not equally important. The relative importance of job is not the same. So jobs vary according to their importance. By definition, job evaluation and assessing various jobs systematically to ascertain their relative worth in an organization. Job evaluation is an assessment of the relative worth of various jobs based on a consistent set of job and personal factors, such as qualifications and skills required. Features of job evaluation. The main features of job evaluation are to supply basis for wage negotiation founded on facts rather than on vague intermediate ideas. It attempts to assess jobs, not people. Job evaluation is the output provided by job. Job evaluation does not design in rationalizing the system by reducing number of different and different things. Job evaluation is not by rather it is done by a group of experts. Job evaluation determines the value of job. Further, the value of each of the aspects of use and responsibility levels are also related and studied in connection with it. Job evaluation helps management maintain high levels of employee productivity and employee satisfaction. However, the primary objective of job satisfaction, of job evaluation, is to find out the value of work, but this is a value which varies from time to time and from place to place under the influence of certain economic pressures, not least of which is the worth of money itself. Objectives of job evaluation. Number one, to establish an orderly, rational, systematic structure of jobs based on their worth to the organization, to justify an existing pay rate structure or to develop one that provides for internal equity, to assist in setting pay rates that are comparable to those of in similar jobs in other organizations to compete in marketplace, to provide rational basis for negotiating pay rates when bargaining collectively with a recognized union, to ensure the pay and equity in relation to their duties, to ensure equity in pay for jobs of similar skill, effort, responsibility, and working conditions that consistently and accurately assesses differences in relative value among jobs, and to establish a framework of use to determine the grade level and the consequent salary range for new jobs or jobs which have evolved, to identify a ladder of progression for future movement for all employees interested in improving their competence, to comply with equal pay legislation and regulations determining pay difference according to job content. Finally, to develop a base for merit or pay for performance. These are the objectives of job evaluation. The advantages of job evaluation. We have the advantages to a company in many ways. Number one, reduction in inequalities in salary structure. Number two, specialization. So because of division of labor and thereby specialization, many enterprises have got hundreds of jobs and many employees to perform them. Therefore, an attempt should be made to define a job and thereby fix salaries for it. This is possible only through job evaluation. We also have that it helps in selection of employees, because by the time you know exactly what the job is worth, you will know what the person that needs the job should have. It also creates harmonious relationship between employees and managers, and also provides room for standardization on level, from one level to another. You know what the standard of salary or wage structure should be. And then there is also relevance of new jobs. So by introducing new jobs, we evaluate them and know what their pay would look like. Now, the limitations, though there are many ways of applying job evaluation in a flexible manner, rapid changes in technology and in the supply of and demand for skills create problems of adjustment that may need further study. So we have new skills coming up, and the new skills are bringing in disruptions, especially technological skills. So there is need to evaluate the impact of those new skills and also compensate them appropriately. Then we have when job evaluation results in substantial changes in the existing wage structure, the possibility of implementing these changes in a relatively short period may be restricted by the financial limits within which the firm has to operate. When there are a large proportion of incentive workers, it may be difficult to ascertain a reasonable and acceptable structure of relative earnings. The process of job rating is, to some extent, inexact because some of the factors and degrees can be measured with accuracy. Job evaluation takes a long time to complete, requires specialized technical personnel, and is quite expensive. These are some of the limitations bordering around job evaluation. Now, job evaluation process. The job evaluation process flowchart, the first step is gathering all information and facts necessary for the job description. So you go back to your job analysis and job design to fetch information, okay? And also note that in job evaluation, what we are simply saying is which job, according to their ranking, which one should we rank as the major contributor, the moderate contributor, and the least contributor? For instance, you have a gate man, you have a storekeeper, you have a customer service agent, you have a marketer, you have a manager, you have a general manager, and then you have a branch manager, and then you have a GMD, a group managing director, and all of that. You get a director, then GMD. So the job evaluation is asking which one has the highest contribution to the organizational performance. All right. So by the time you have their job description, you will definitely know which one has the highest contribution. Okay. Now, all of them are contributing, but not in the same level. All of them, from gate man to the GMD, they are all contributing, but not in the same levels. From the information collected about varied tasks, you derive what a job adds to the organization. That's the worth of the job to the organization. Determining job value is followed by the addition to the organization's job structure. Individual evaluation of tasks also promotes the equal distribution of work, encompassing minorities and all genders in the company structure. Steps in job evaluation. So the first step is job analysis, which will end up in job design. And you also have to find out what are the compensable factors. The compensable factors will span from your educational qualifications, your professional qualifications, to your expertise, to your skills, to your experience, and any other thing you're bringing in. Then you have developing the method needed for evaluation. So basically we have two methods. We have the quantitative methods and the qualitative methods, what we call the analytical and non-analytical methods. So you develop which method you want to use in that evaluation process. Then you also have the job structure. The job structure, is it permanent? Is it full-time? Is it skilled? Is it semi-skilled? We also need to know. Then the wage structure. What are the components that make up the wage? How is the wage? How is the salary based? Okay, we also know all of that. That will help us in evaluation. Now, in the phases of evaluation, we have the 4 phases of evaluation. Phase 1 is the planning and diagnosis, under which we conduct initial workshops, review approaches to job evaluation, identify benchmark jobs, and then plan data collection and initial communication. That's phase 1. Phase 2 has to do with design and development. Design workshops on pay management and role evaluation system design. Define evaluation elements and levels, collect and analyze raw data, and then reference ranking. Phase 3 has to do with validation and modeling, which will involve test or auditing the evaluation results, developing weightings and initial rank order of jobs, develop grade structure and fit benchmark jobs to structure, and then develop guidelines for matching non-benchmark jobs, model proposed pay management processes with employees. Then you have communication and rollout. The communication and rollout phase will be on developing implementation and appeals processes, preparing initial letters and team briefings to explain changes to grade structures and pay management processes. These are just the phases. And each of these phases, if you look at it, it involves training and retraining of the people involved, the experts involved, keep them abreast of the current realities in the job evaluation process for them to be able to know what exactly to do. Okay. Job evaluation methods will have two basic categories. We have the analytical or qualitative methods, and then we have the non-analytical or quantitative methods. Under the analytical method, we have the factor comparison method and the point ranking method. Under the non-analytical or quantitative method, we have the ranking and job grading. So let's look at what each of them has to say. Now, qualitative evaluation focus on the qualities of job performance that can be observed but not measured, such as communication skills or teamwork. Quantitative evaluation, on the other hand, look at job performance in terms of issues that can be measured, such as sales figures. Qualitative performance evaluations are more common than the quantitative evaluations because job success is in many fields can be measured with quantifiable data alone. Sometimes quantitative data is used in qualitative evaluation. Now, the two key methods here under the quantitative approach, we have the job ranking and the job grading or job classification. Now, under the job ranking, the ranking option is a job classification method that evaluates jobs based on how the tasks relate to each other value-wise. Here are some aspects of the ranking method of the job evaluation and basic job option analysis. The cones include, so if you look at the example we have there, you see here we have this. So you see a rank and you see estimated monthly salary. So in this particular organization, a manager earns between 8,000 to 11,000. That means dependent on the level of the person or the managerial position. Then you have assistant manager, 6,000 to 8,000, superintendent. So all of these people or all of these roles are ranked according to the contribution or the value they have to the organization. And according to that same value, they are now paid in the same wise. Okay, they are paid in the same wise. Okay. Yes, this one is in dollars, not in naira. Okay. Yeah. If they pay you this per hour, if they pay you this per hour, they pay you 11,000 per hour, you work 8 hours per day. Wouldn't it be better for you? They pay you 8,000 naira per hour. So in a day, you collect 45,000, 40 to 45,000. Okay. In a week, you collect 40,000 times 5. That's 200,000. So in a month, you collect 800,000. That would be a good money. Okay. All right. The cons include the ranking method has no regard for compensation rate in the existing market. This method will not work for large organizations unless jobs are categorized into job families, example, professional levels. However, it is better applicable to smaller entities. So if you have a small organization and you want to do job evaluation, just use job ranking. It makes it easier for you. Now, job classification method or the job grading method, this is the one we find most often in complex organizations, right? So you have level 1, grade 1, level 2, grade 2. Sorry, it seems my screen went off, but I'm back. Okay, so I trust you can still see my screen. Please kindly confirm if you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, please kindly type 1 in the chat room. If you can see the screen, all right, thank you so much for seeing the screen. All right, so like I was saying, the grading method is much more when we have a complex organization. So this encourages grouping according to general job characteristics. This grouping is done while considering pre-established grade classification, thus reflecting skill levels and individual responsibilities at handling tasks. This classification method is straightforward and does not waste time. However, the system is bound to inflate job grades, since some of them get pushed to higher levels than they deserve to be. The downfalls here include it compares and classifies individual jobs in job families with predetermined characteristics. One-size-fits approach pushes some tasks into job grades that they do not fit in. This approach presents a significant challenge since organizations are diverse. Now, so this example of what we have here, you see this example. So you see grade 1, unskilled, grade 2, skilled, grade 3, interpretative, grade 4, creative, grade 5, executive, grade 6, administrative, grade 7, grade policy. That means this one has entered directorate cadre. Okay, this one is a big man now. So this could be, and this is an example anyway, okay? In the Nigerian system of grading, you have different grade 1, level 1, or level 1, grade 1. They know the way they do it, but I know I think they have up to level 17 in public service with some numbers mixing in between. I don't know whether they have, I think they don't have level 3. They don't have whether level 10, I be level 11. There are certain levels that are not applicable, okay, in public service. Okay, some are omitted. I don't know the reason why they are omitted, but we have up to level 17, okay, and each of the levels define certain things, okay. I never knew that there was level 1 in civil service till someone took time and was explaining to me. Say we have level 1, maybe is it level 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5 was not there. There you have whether 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10 is missing, or 11 is missing. There you have 12 to 14, 15 to 17, something like that. But they have different levels. Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel said it depends on the agency. Okay, okay. But they are all grade by grade, levels by levels. So the only challenge here is that dependent on the agency, like you just said now, an agency may bring in someone to a particular grade such that in other agencies, that grade, the person occupying this grade in this agency compared to the other people or the, undertaking the grade in other agencies, you'll see some discrepancies, maybe skills discrepancies, competency discrepancies, and then that could be a challenge. Okay. Qualitative job evaluation method. You have 2 of them: factor comparison and point ranking. The factor comparison, this job evaluation method permits job factors identified under 5 primary groups with expertise, personal drive, responsibilities, and working conditions in mind. As opposed to assigning a point value, each factor gets valued according to monetary value. So mental requirements, skill, physical requirement, responsibilities, and working conditions. These are the conditions that determine how much you'll be paid. Okay. If the job is mentally demanding, then you get higher pay. If the mental demand is moderate, then you get moderate pay. If the mental demand is low, you get a low pay. If the skill demand is high, you get a high pay. And in that format, every other thing follows. Now, the cons of the factor comparison method are: it is a complicated system that countable organizations use. The process complicates communication with employees. Subjectivity is unavoidable to a substantial degree. So if you don't want to have issues on your job evaluation, you just better use a simple one that everybody can understand and know the basis for each generation. So you see a typical example there. You see the ranking that goes with the job, and then you see the pay that goes with the job. So for instance, you have a tool maker, the skill requirement is 1, mental requirement is 1, physical requirement is graded 1, responsibility is graded 1, working condition is graded 4. Okay, now on the tool makers, monetary, the wage rate in monetary units is 20. That's $20. Okay, $20 perhaps per hour. And then you have the way it is broken down. Okay, so monetary value attributed 9, ranking of the job 1, monetary value attributed for mental requirement 5, the ranking of the job 1, monetary value attributed to physical this. So by the time you join all the monetary value together, it should be able to give you the total wage that the person is collecting. Okay, so you first of all rank. You like here they have they have ranking from 1 to 5. Okay, and then where 1 is the highest and 5 is the least. Okay, in the same vein, the monetary wage rate, the person that was ranked 5 has the highest pay, and the person that was ranked first had the highest pay, and the person that had 5 had the least pay. Okay, so you see there are 2 things here. You'll be ranked, your job will be ranked before they will not decide how much we will pay for that particular rank. Okay. They have the point factor method. This evaluation method singles out all job evaluation factors which add merit to an employment position. Classification of job factors is in groups according to skill, responsibility, and effort. The elements are then given a point value. The individual factor points are consolidated to derive specific value for a complete task or job. The point factor method has the following downfalls. It does not portray the value of jobs in the existing market. It formulates a hierarchy, although it lacks components of external nature. Now, steps in point rating. Number 1, listing of the jobs. Number 2, selecting and defining factors that will determine how much we pay. Number 3, deciding the factors into degrees, or dividing the factors into degrees rather. So the degree of contribution is bringing in. Then weighing the factors, allocating points to each of the degree, and then evaluation of the jobs. The listed jobs will not evaluate them and then assign monetary value according to the points that they gather. Okay. Now, other evaluation methods, you have the competitive market analysis method. So it's basically looking at what is in the market and using it to define what your own job worth will be within your organization. That's just what is happening in the competitive market analysis. So the competitive market analysis is approach focuses on external data. To make possible the right market price, you must conduct job evaluation. It forms the foundation for arriving at accurate market prices. Job descriptions are used in job comparison through side-by-side comparison to similar positions in the marketplace. Information on pay is collected, and the determination of the position's relative worth in the market occurs. Now, what do we measure in the competitive marketplace? So you measure the evaluation methods used, rather. You have the critical incident method, the 360 degrees performance appraisal method, objective, performance test, and ratings scale. Okay, you can use these things to determine the competitive market pay rate. Still on the competitive market analysis, this approach is best method yet due to the following. This approach appreciates the organization's goal for market visibility, that's compensation philosophy. The competitive market analysis method evaluates an organization's internal value compared to the market data. We also have another method that will have the market pricing goals. Updated pricing in the market is vital as several organizations utilize it to to determine what of individual employment positions within an organization, how a company ranks in the external market, an organizational structure of pay against its philosophy on compensation, the proficiency of pay programs in achieving compensation objectives, equity in the market, in the internal workplace. So market pricing goes, it has its own way of getting for the organization what they want in terms of HR acquisition and retention. Okay, so they want to make the best offer. Okay, making the best offer to your staff as compared to what the market is offering. In summary, job evaluation process is unavoidable. It contributes towards making an efficient work and employment system. Every member of your organization is according to what is required of them. Lack of job evaluation will hinder the growth and progress of an organization and its employees. Upon proper use of job evaluation process, organizations are assured of obtaining happy staff. All rules are outlined, payment structures are well defined, and available designs back up existing systems. As a result, value is added to the entire company. Now, thank you so much for your time, for the few moments we've shared together. I will once again take questions if there